Let me get a like, comment, subscribe, share on the YouTube page. Also get an auto download over on the audio portion, wherever that may be, Spotify, Apple, what have you. Let's not forget our sponsor, shebangboutique.com. SHWBangBoutique.com.
Hey ladies, I'm back. These back in stock. What you think? Y'all like it? Clearly they do, because they sold out and I had to get them back. All right. For you.
All right, so in the other episode, we called it the race to the bottom. But we wasn't saying the bottom like that. So they took it too literal, bro. You know what I mean? That was terrible. It truly showcased, in my humble opinion, that is the worst team in football, and that is the Las Vegas Raiders. They made the Giants look like they possibly could make the playoffs, and they was only a 2-win team as well. I don't see how, after playing the Texans, who's a legitimate playoff team, at their place, 23-21 close game, they just barely won by stopping us from driving there at the end of the ball game. They got the ball back and took a knee, beat the Raiders 23-21. Then they come back home to Allegiant Stadium and do that 34-10 to the Giants. Man, that was horrible. Now, I'm starting to think some of that is that home field is not really a home field. The Raiders really are not getting any type of, push or whatever from fans, especially late in the season, when you only won 2 games. Now people with season tickets are selling. You know what I mean? They're making money, or, making, you could say, trying to break even with their tickets by selling them, or perhaps even turning a profit in a season that's been dismal. There's no need to be, going to those games, especially, a lot of these people are LA people that fly in or drive in to the game and have the season tickets and whatnot. And why do all that? Well, you could just sell it online, make some money, watch the Raiders play a couple quarters, on TV before they start getting slapped on, and then, call it a day. That's what happens on Sundays, usually. 10 straight times, basically, that's happened, except for the close game that we was talking about. But that game left, in my opinion, that game left us with more questions than answers now, right? I was thinking Petey was going to come back. I don't know, man. I'm starting to think he's not going to come back. We're going to know in just a few short days. But, we got more questions than answers. We got questions about Pete. We got questions about Eugene. We got questions about Patrick Graham. Several other players as well that was on one-year deals. On what are the Raiders going to do? There's going to be a lot of turnover, right? Whether it be just coaches or coaches and players or just players. But there's going to be a lot of turnover one way or another. There's a lot of people that's here that you're seeing right now that you won't be seeing next season on the Raiders. I truly believe that, coaching and players. Now, I thought when they shut down Bowers, Maxx, Chin, in effect, they shut down Colton Miller from trying to come back. When they shut all those guys down, I said, okay, they'll give Pete another chance. But then, reports came out that they didn't give the press the schedule for after the game for the head coach. And that's a red flag, man. You know what I'm saying? According to the press guys, that's something that they get every week, right? The availability of the coach after the game. Well, the Raiders left that blank. So I think the writing may be on the wall. I think Petey might be getting out of here. But we will see just a few short days from now. Michael Mayer did show up. He had, 9 catches for 89 yards. Now, if we can find a way for him to have these types of games with Brock on the field, then the Raiders will really have something. So they need to find an offensive coordinator or an offensive guy, whether you're going to make him the head coach or what. But we need an offensive innovator, a guy that's going to utilize both those tight ends like that, right? So if he could get to 8 for 89 regularly with Bowers in there doing his, 100-yard thing, that's real good production from the tight end. Real good production. And that's what they thought they had when they drafted Bowers and had this guy already. They thought they was going to have that dynamic tight end duo. Big Mike has had some issues, staying around the team the last couple seasons. But this year he's been solid. And yeah, man, it's just we got to have an offensive mind that is innovative, that is creative enough to figure out how to get both of these tight ends involved, because it is the strength of the team. You got Bowers, perhaps the best tight end, top 2 or 3 for sure. And then you got Mayer, who's a strong tight end as well, and blocks well. And, 8 for 89, that's nothing to shake a stick at. So they have to figure that out right there. That's something that's have to be figured out. So they got outgained by the Giants by 100 yards, over 100 yards. And it's the Giants. You know what I'm saying? And some of it was garbage time for us. And handed the Raiders their 10th consecutive loss. So 10 losses in a row. And that just can't be good for Petey. And, he was thinking they were going to win more games. Obviously, they did not. I believe Spytek, he knew where this team was at. And he did draft accordingly. He did draft trench players. And I believe he's going to do that again. The only question is, will he get the quarterback? Does he think the Mendoza kid, or more if he comes out, does Johnny Spytek think these guys are worthy of the number 1 overall pick? Or is he looking elsewhere? Remains to be seen. Jeanty needs 112 yards for 1,000 yards rushing in his rookie year. Jeanty already has 1,227 yards from scrimmage, leads all rookies on offense. I believe that's a Raider record for a rookie. I'd have to confirm that. I'm not sure if that's true or not. So look for Jeanty to try to get that, eclipse that 1,000-yard mark. Hopefully the guys can block it up and have some pride, and he can get that tomorrow. In a couple of days. Also in a couple of days, we'll know if Petey, we'll know Petey's fate, man, So Pickett versus, what's the dude's name? Oladokun, with the Kansas City Chiefs. Don't anticipate this is going to be a, sling the ball all over the yard, gunslinging, back and forth, shootout. Probably going to be pretty low scoring. The Raiders don't need to win this game, but in a way, I kind of hope they can pull it out and still have the pick that they want, number one, because there's ways that the Raiders can win and still get the number one pick. But if you lose, then you number one, period. But it sure would be nice to just get the Chiefs that snap that winning streak that they got in Vegas, right? So I'm kind of torn right there. I feel like the Raiders might be able to do something with the backups, but Kenny Pickett was in there. He only threw for like 60 yards against the Eagles. So possibilities are thin. Hopefully, Jeanty can get that 112. Hopefully, the O-line that had a pride help Jeanty get that 112, win, lose, or draw. Hopefully, the Raiders can, go ahead and secure the number one pick. Either way. So they can have some flexibility in the draft and know what they're going to do. Anyway, Chiefs, Raiders, and the grand finale, backup bowl. Wrap up to the 2025 season. Another bad year for the Raiders. I'm going to predict the score. 19-6. Chiefs. I ain't going to hold you. Just win, baby. Peace.